Sportsnite Niagara is brought to you by Mount St. Mary's Hospital and Health Center, Wendy's Old Fashioned Hamburgers, Total Tan, Crown Plaza, Niagara Falls, Direct Air and Tours, Tim Hortons, Pepsi, New Era, and PurpleEagles.com.
Good evening, I'm Jeremy White, and welcome to another Sports Night Niagara. We have a big show in store for you today. First off, recap where we are for Niagara Athletics. A big weekend, a rivalry week of sorts in basketball at the Gallagher Center. The women's basketball team took down Canisius, and then the men's team did the same, completing the sweep of the Canisius Golden Griffins, and both sellout crowds as well. So a good stretch for Niagara basketball. For Niagara women's hockey, they split a series with Syracuse, and the men's team grabbed a tie in a makeup game with Robert Morris. Sam Goodwin scoring a goal with about a minute and a half to go to give the Purple Eagles a tie inside the CHA. And up next, the series against Alabama Huntsville. We'll talk with Coach Greg Gardner about that and about the Niagara men's hockey program in a little bit. But so far this season on Niagara, on Sports Night Niagara, we've talked a lot of different sports. We've talked basketball, hockey, we've talked baseball as well. Tonight, swimming and diving. And for that, we've brought in Coach Ben Nigro, who's taken time to join us. Coach Nigro, thanks for joining us this evening on Sports Night Niagara.
Thanks for having us.
Now, the 2010 MAC championships are right around the corner. So what are you, I don't know, what should we be looking for?
What should we be looking for? We've done really well all year. We had a meet that we peaked for in December. On the women's side, this is probably the best women's team that Niagara has ever had. In December, they set 9 school records, which was just awesome. And we're looking for them to continue to break more records and swim even faster. On the men's side, that same meet, a lot of our men had their career bests, and it was just a great meet all around. And again, we're looking to take from that and build on that and do even better as we go into this weekend. What
would you say has been a key factor in terms of all these records that are falling?
I think it's youth. We had a really good recruiting class on the women's side, and the veterans that were here didn't want to be outdone by them. So the youth kind of pushed the veterans to train even harder and work even harder and not give up their spots to them, so it's made the team as a whole that much better.
Internal competition, always something that can drive an athletics program. With a young team, though, sometimes you'll have to worry about cohesion. So what did you do in the off-season? What did you guys do as a team to make sure that it was a close-knit group?
In the off-season, I don't know that we really have an off-season with swimming because we go right from when school starts until March, and then but really, I think the cohesion had to do with our sophomore class and letting them know that they're going to be the leaders and they're going to make the team what it is. And so they kind of took the freshmen under their wing and taught them, what it is to be on the team.
What about the winter trip to Florida?
The winter trip to Florida was a lot of fun. Unfortunately, this year it was a little cold. We had some days that we might as well have stayed here. But the training went really, really well. I mean, everybody trained really hard, probably one of the best training groups I've seen. And then we had a lot of fun on the side. We got to spend the few afternoons that we had that were warm on the beach playing and doing those things.
And I know that sometimes when it comes to training, I know professional teams will do this too. If you have a training camp away from where you actually practice most of the time, you can actually get better practices in. So would you say that was the case? Being away from home made it even more of a focused activity?
Yeah, it may, and the other thing that we get when we go away is a lot more pool space with 34 swimmers. Having an 8-lane pool to ourselves that's Olympic size, 50 meters, makes a huge difference.
So how much of your work specifically is swimming, how much specifically is diving, and what kind of preparation is there that's not in the pool? I mean, is it 100% in the pool at all times, or is there out of the pool training as well?
There's a lot of out of the pool training as well. I handle the swimmers and their day-to-day routines, and actually my wife handles the diving program and what they do day-to-day.
So what's it like to work hand-in-hand with your wife?
Never a dull moment, put it that way. It's a lot of fun. I don't think I could see it any other way. She does a great job with the divers. They've been doing really well all year, and actually are starting to peak right at the right time. The past couple meets that we've had, the divers have been posting their season bests, so it's been great.
So this is your 4th season at Niagara, and when you integrate your experiences as a coach and as a swimmer and as an athlete, a triathlete, how do you bring that to your student athletes? Your past experiences and the things that you've learned, how do you bring that along to them?
Swimming can be a very boring sport. You go back and forth and stare at a black line, back and forth, back and forth. And so I bring a lot of cross-training into it, and I'm always looking for ideas to make it more interesting. Swimming since age 7, I know exactly how boring it can be. And then when I finished my swimming career, I switched over to triathlon, and I can be on a bike and I can talk to somebody. And in the pool, when you're swimming, you don't ever really get to talk to anybody.
Right.
And so one of the things that we do from time to time is we put them on kickboards and let them just have 10 minutes of what I call a social kick, where they can actually talk to their teammates during practice. Because unlike the land sports, swimmers never get to do that.
Right. It's something I never thought of, that you don't actually get that kind of interaction with your teammates while you're actually doing drills. So that's obviously been something that's been received very positively by your student athletes? Yeah,
they get really excited when they get a social kick.
Social kicks. Can't beat it, huh? And for triathletes or triathlons, any more of those in your future?
I've qualified for the national championship in September.
Where's that held?
I'm not sure off the top of my head where that's going to be this year. Unfortunately, I'm injured at the moment, so I'm not currently training. We have to see how the injury comes along, and hopefully I'll be there in September.
But maybe down the road, if your injury's healed up, if you're healthy enough, and maybe if not, down the road it's something that you're definitely going to continue to pursue?
Yes.
All right, well, congratulations on your past triathlons and success, and best of luck at the MAC Championships as well.
Thank you very much.
All right, swimming and diving coach Ben Niagara here on Sportsnite Niagara. When we return, we'll check in with the men's hockey team and a player that has a battle that's a little different from anyone else on his team. That's next.